In the name of God, in the name of who without doubt is capable and wise, welcome to our own channel. I hope all of you be healthy and fine. Our slogan is Seeker is Finder. Welcome to another episode of Learning AutoCAD 2021. Welcome to the 5th episode of Learning AutoCAD 2021. So let's start it. If you are remembering, in the previous session, we talked about the draw menu, and our draw menu finished successfully. The first thing that we talked about is a spline. We can draw the spline into two ways, by fed or by sealing. And why we use the spline? If we want to set our direction, we can choose the spline. By fed, you can draw the spline by the fed points. You can use the spline fed. And if you want to draw the spline by control vertices, so you can use the spline sealing. Then we had construction line. Construction line is actually infinity lines. The line that the starting point and the finishing point is unknown is called construction line. Then we have ray. One thing that I want to say that in construction line, you can draw the infinity line in a vertical, horizontal, or by angle. Then ray, difference between the construction line and ray is in construction line our starting point and our finishing point is unknown, both of them. But in a ray, just our starting point is known and our end point is unknown. Then multiple point, we can create multiple point, how we can change the format of our point. We studied all of these things. Then we can divide the line by two ways. One by divide and second one by measure. By divide, shortcut of divide is div. When we want to divide the line by the segments, we should use the divide. And when we want to divide our line by distance, we should use the measure. Then we have region. If we want to change the broken object into one object, we can use the region. Then wiper, we want to cover the object, that our object not shown, we can use the wiper. These two objects belongs to 3D AutoCAD, and we will discuss about it on 3D AutoCAD. Then we had donut. If you want to draw two circles center to center, one interior and one exterior, we can use the donut. And then a revision cloud, and the shortcut of donut is a DON. Then the revision cloud, and we want to mark the important point in our project, we use revision cloud. And we can draw the revision cloud by object, rectangularly, polygonally, and all the objects that we had. If you see here, arc length, we can get the length maximum, minimum, object, rectangular, polygonal, freehand, style, modify, all these things that we studied in the previous session. In this session, I want to talk about the modify menu. Draw menu, finish it, modify menu. In modify menu also we have different objects, but we just studied the important objects. One thing that you should remember, AutoCAD is a professional program, and it's a field. If you want to be professional in AutoCAD, it is a program of the 4-year, diploma of the 4-year. But in here we just study the main or important commands that is used, that we can do or we can complete a project. If you see, we have different commands, but we cannot study all these commands. Just we study the important commands that when we want to work on project or we want to make a project, so we can easily, in a less time, we can create a successful or complete project. So in a modify menu, the important thing that we have to discuss is the first thing. We have lengthen. What is the option of the function of the lengthen? When we want to increase the length of our line, we use the lengthen. For example, in a line, you work different commands or different members. For example, window, doors, dimension, etc. So, but you need to increase the length of your line. So, if you delete it, by deleting all of your commands, one part will become deleted. So, what should you do that you, without deleting, you increase the length of your line? So we can use by lengthen. The shortcut of lengthen is LEN, enter. In here we have 4 options. By 4 options we can increase our length of our line. Suppose that we have a line in here, then type LEN, Then in your delta, click the delta and give a number. By number you can increase your length of your line. First of all, I want to determine the dimension of our line, how much is it is, for example, or I can change dimension, for example 16 is okay. Set Canon and close. I want to draw a line up to 350 centimeter. Okay, it's at 350 centimeter. Come to the linear. Now I want to increase this line, the length of this line, up to 100 more. So come in here, type LEN. In here we have by 4 option, delta. So just click 100, delta by delta. Just we can, if we get a increase our length just by giving a number, for example 100. Just select and enter. 350. It was 350 and now it became 450. The second thing that we have by percentage, in 100% up to 100%, how much you want to increase the length of this line. For example 67%. Select 67%. Increase it because it was 450 and it became 301.5. Then we have by totally how much become our length of our line. Just click in total. For example, it become 560 or 450. Select the object and right click or enter. 450. And the last option, dynamic. By freehand you want to increase your length of your line, enter, you can do it. So it's all about the lengthen, that 4 option that we have. Another thing that we have in here is actually polyline, edit polyline. For example, suppose that you have a polyline in here. I want to edit my polyline, or I want to close it, or I want to get a weight, or etc. So come in here, select to edit polyline and select your polyline. Now you want to close it, click to close. You want to open. You want to change the weight, come in here and change the weight, for example 10 centimeter. You want to edit the vertex. You want to create the polyline into fit. You want to change the polyline into spline or L-type generate or etc. Everything that you want, you can bring change in here. Just by what? Just by edit polyline. The another option that we have is in here, edit spline. For example, suppose that you have a spline like this, if 8 on or off, no problem. Now in here, come in here is edit polyline, and in here you have edit spline. Click the object. In here you want to close your spline, you want to open it, you want to fit your data, edit vertex. You want to convert your, one thing that you can convert the spline into polyline to spline, because it is a freehand or by volume we can, because the function of these two is the same. Because of this you can convert it. Then convert the polyline in which segment or in which precision, for example in 100 precision, or we can get up to 10, for example 5. Now it convert to 5% of the polyline. So by these two options we can bring change into polyline and we can bring change into spline. Another option, we have edit of hatch. For example, suppose that we have a circle or rectangular, we have a hatch in here, for example this. Now I want to change this into gradient or other material. So what should we do? How we can bring it? Just by clicking here also, it's easy that you can bring change. And also in here by modify option, by edit hatch, click the object. In here you can also change the type of, for example this, or you can changing into gradient, for example this. It will bring the change. Another option that we have is a edit array. We have 3 type of array, we discussed about it: rectangular, path array, or per array. For example, suppose that in here we have a circle, and or for example in here suppose that we have a rectangle or I want to have another rectangle also. And for example, suppose it's a circular table with a rectangular chair. I want to have in a surrounding of this circle other chair also. So come in here and select the polar array, select your object and select the center point, this center point. We should use the rectangular array. Okay, select your object. If you see here, it will change, or we have more than, for example, it's you can use by path array, or it's another option that we can we will discuss also in the future videos, the important commands separately, about hatch, about there, the important commands separately with advanced information. Just suppose that we have a test. If I want to bring change in here, so come in here in your select your array. Okay, select your array, select your array and bring change, or in here come select your array and bring change. Another option that we have in here is an important break and break at a point. For example, suppose that you have a line in here and I want to break this. It's a one object. Okay, I want to break this line, or for example you have a circle or rectangle. For example, you have a rectangle in here. For example, you have a polygonal in here, or no, polygonal 6 point. I want to bring this line in one point. So come in here, select break at point, and then select it. In where you want to break it, up to in here. I want to in here break it. Now it's two objects. One in here and another is in here. Or I want to break this object in one point. Come in here and select break at point. Select this object. In here you want to break it up to in here. Now it is also a separate object in here and in here. Then if I want to break the object into 2 points, not 1 point, so come and select the break. One we have break at point, in 1 point if you want to break, and then we have break in 2 points if we want to break the object. For example, as a one object, I want to break this. Select the object in where you want to break it. By this command also you can use, or in here we have another thing, first point. See the command panel? By first point, just select your first point and second point where you can break your object. It has a lot of usage in our project. For example, you did all of, for example, suppose that we have a plan in here, and then in here I want to have a door must be open. So come in here, break, use the break, select the object up to in here, or first point in here up to in here. You can draw your door. Then we have join. For example, those lines or those objects that become in a one direction, or in a one continuous direction, we can join it. For example, you see it says different object. So how we can join it in one object? We break this object. Okay, how we can just return to one object? By join also you can do, and the shortcut of join is J enter. Select your objects, enter. Now it's one object. Or suppose that you have a one line in here and another line you have in here. I want to join. Come in here, join one and second one. Select and join. Then we have the important option that we have in here is actually bring to front or front to bring. In here, suppose that we have a different option. For example, I want this, and here, for example, suppose that we have a rectangle and we have a hatch in here. Hatch of in here, for example, suppose that we have a break. click, and here is a very big, and here we can get 0.3. Then as you know, that is a straight stretcher and it's a header. Then it's actually what is actually Flemish style. Now, or another option, for example, also we have in here rectangle, go to the hatch, and in here I want to click this, but in here I want to have a gradient with different color, for example red, and for example this, and select the object. Now in here also I want to get the color, so no problem. In here, for example, I move this in here, and also I move this in here, F8 off in here. Now I want to bring this object circularly in the front of this. So how we can do? Come in here, select the bring to front, click and select the object and enter. It comes the front. Or I want to go back this into back side. Come in here, select to the send to back, select the object and click. It comes send to, it goes to back. Then we have in here bring above objects. For example, I want to bring this in above of the object. So just click the object. Okay, then it come in the above of the object. Then in here we have send under objects. In here I want to go to under of the object. Select reference object, this, enter. It goes the back side. So it has a lot of also usage in our project. Bring to front, send to back, bring above object, and send under the objects. So these are the important things that we discussed. Lengthen, edit a polyline, edit a spline, hatch, array, break at 2 point, break at 1 point, join, and send to back, send to front. And also we have this command in the hatch, and we will discuss about it. So it is the 5th episode. If you like this video, don't forget subscribe to our more academic videos. Have a nice time. Goodbye.